complexity that just exists in human beings. It's not unique to the church. And I was trying to encourage her, and I made this statement. And for those of you who have loved ones and maybe they've walked away from the Lord, they've got questions, they've got real questions about life and faith, and I'll come to that in a moment. But it's as if faith or God and remember that God and belief are not necessarily the same thing. Okay, God is God, and your belief about Him may either be right or be wrong. It's not the same. And I said, there's something you need to remember, that everyone lives with, and we've talked about this in this series, everyone lives with a sense of a longing. We have questions about life, about its origins, its meaning, its purpose, our place. And these are questions that have to be answered, irregardless of how hard they are. And so her brothers, and this is what I said to her, your brothers have concluded that they did not find the answers in church, but that doesn't make the questions go away. The questions don't now magically go away. They're just going to have to try to find those answers elsewhere. And I said, and here's what I believe. That and this is the case with most people, they will search and search and search and search, and they will find no answers. They won't find answers. Because there aren't answers. Apart from God, at the end of the day, He's the one who possesses the answers. He has the answers. He's the only one who has the answers. He's the only one that is capable of making life make sense. And so I said to her, trust me, they'll come back. They come back. Because they don't find the answers. Not out there. Not in the books. Not in the philosophies of men. There just are no answers there. And they may go along for a lot of years trying to avoid the questions, right? That's what generally people do. Trying to avoid the questions. You know, recently I was sharing with you that I had this conversation with a person. They said, oh, most of my life I was an atheist. And I said, no, you weren't. You weren't an atheist. You didn't even ask smart questions. You don't get to be an atheist unless you actually ask the right questions. You're just not thinking about it. And not thinking about it doesn't make the question go away or any less significant. The question's still there. And I've often mocked, and I'm not mocking them as a person because they're an atheist, but I mocked the fact that they don't even ask the question. They don't even ask the right questions. They don't ask intellectually responsible questions. There's just assumptions. And so many times they spend their whole life trying to explain why God doesn't exist, when if He didn't exist, they wouldn't even be trying to explain it. Look, I'm saying these things today because we're in a series right now where we're thinking about life. We have to think about life, partly because your life matters. Your life matters. And there's times that we want to pretend that these questions in our lives aren't real, they're not important, they don't matter. But that's just not true, because your life matters. It matters to you, and it matters to those who are in relationship with you. And so when we think about life, we think about the big questions of life, and we think about faith and the role that faith plays in life, there is nothing more important, and avoiding the question does not make it go away. So what do we do? Well, I've said this from the beginning of this series. We're not afraid of your questions. Not afraid of the questions at all. We're not pretending like they don't exist. We're willing to ask them. Now, we don't pretend to have simple answers. Now, that's where you lose some people right there. They wanted simple answers. They didn't really actually want to have to think. They don't want faith to ever have to enter in. And there are no simple answers. A lot of our questions may lead to more questions. But I like this quote. Rainier Maria Rilke, which was I believe a French poet, made this statement. I'm going to put the statement up here on the screen. He said, and it's actually a man. He said, I want to beg you